I've been waiting for. Let's take one last look at the finalists for the CertaCup. First off, CertaPro of Austin, Texas. Our second finalist, CertaPro of Far North, Texas. Next up, CertaPro of Reno, Nevada. Our fourth finalist, CertaPro of Salt Lake City, Utah. And finally, CertaPro of Yorba Linda, California. Huge round of applause for all of our amazing finalists. So this business moved its net promoter score over 10 points, consistently delivered great consult NPS, grew the business north of 20% in 2020, had incredible residential and commercial success ratio. This business consistently invests in the development of both the painters and their communities, as well as works well at maximizing the staff to their fullest potential. The owner of this business goes out of his or her way to mentor new franchisees and ultimately pays it forward to the brand of CertaPro, really in every interaction, every day. The people on this team always go out of their way to help their fellow franchisees and associates become successful. This business is a true brand champion. Please put your hands together for our 2020 CertaCup winner, CertaPro of Salt Lake City. Paul, would you like to say a few words to the CertaPro community?
Wow. Holy cow. Thanks, Mike. So first, I want to congratulate the other finalists, the Bartons, the Winks, the Gibsons, John Bonnell's team. Congratulations to the corporate team for flexing and making it a great conference, even with all the challenges that presented themselves. You know, our company is a story of kind of a work in progress. We've been CertaCup finalist a couple of times before, but this was really the first time where I thought we had a real chance of contending for it. We've got a long process of growth and development. That goes for me, other individuals in the company itself. We've been working on developing culture and a great foundation, systems, developing the direction, purpose, vision, just different goals as well. And I think, like I said in the video, our success is truly a culmination of and a result of a lot of individual growth and development that has all come together as a whole. We're a true team, and we're full of like-minded individuals who live our values, who strive to learn and progress, and who all want to be world-class. Speaking of our culture, our core purpose is to enhance people's homes, workplaces, and lives. And we go really heavy on the lives. Yes, we paint, but what we really focus on is how we can improve others' lives and provide opportunity. It's really been rewarding to be part of something that's had such an impact on so many people. Years ago, I served an LDS mission in Mexico for a couple of years. I was mostly in Mexico City from 1995 to 97. And at the time, I kept thinking, man, it would be great to be able to provide something where I could teach them to fish, provide some opportunity for them to kind of come out of poverty and have, you know, a different lifestyle that otherwise they may not be able to have. Years went by, and it wasn't until just a few years ago that I realized that that's exactly what my business in Salt Lake City does. We provide opportunities That's what we're passionate about. We have a culture of hitting goals, expectations, accountability. We have a culture of hiring the right people for culture, for values fit, for position fit. We have a culture of progress and continuous improvement. We focus on our core values and we make every decision based off of them. Mike mentioned it a little bit, but we were one of the first to really focus on core culture and becoming a workplace of choice. I think our crews know that we love them. We treat them like family. We treat them like the true assets that they are to the company. We know that they are the ones that actually deliver on the brand. As my brother mentioned, wow. Let me see if I can get it together. My wife passed away. We had been married for nearly 22 years, but had been together really for about 28. We started dating when we were 16. She was truly the best. Early on, when my business was struggling, and she was super supportive, even when it went against her comfort level. I think early on, she would have much rather that I had a safe job. She worked nights as an RN while I was trying to get this business up and running. That meant that with a toddler and a baby, she would often go without sleep. We lived off of her income for a few years while I was cutting into it, losing money a little bit in the beginning. She was the best mom in the world. She loved her kids more than any mom ever. She was tough. She was brilliant. She was classy and elegant. She was adventurous, fun, and a friend to all. She made a huge impact on a lot of lives. I know of 5 or 6 girls who are currently working towards becoming neonatal nurse practitioners to be just like her. One of those is my daughter. She truly lived a full life in 44 short years. I need to recognize my staff. I think the most impressive thing to me and hoping to have an ideal professionally managed company is that we did have an outstanding year when I was needed at home, when I was needed elsewhere. What more can you really say? When I was gone, they delivered at a very high level. That should be a beacon or a lighthouse to really any company out there. My team each delivered. They over-delivered on their own goals and our expectations. Keeping with the theme of flex, my team was exceptional at adjusting. Nobody sat around wondering what to do. They adapted, they adjusted, and ultimately they killed it. My leadership team is Tyler Irving, Lori Martin. These guys have been around forever. I think Tyler's going on 14 years and Lori's 13. Adam Van Sluwen. My staff includes Jackie Stanworth, Amy McKeever, David Baker, Doug Zetting, Bradley Jacobson, Eric Denton, Kyle Dahl, Crystal Fuentes, and Mike Jarman. The thing that sucks about this scenario right here is that I'm in a room down the hall from my team who are all sitting in a theater that we rented out. I wish I could prance them out in front of everybody to really show them off. My family is amazing. I've got 4 kids at home who've always been supportive. At times they had to sacrifice for the good of the company with me being gone or working crazy hours. Quick story about, in terms of being a company of growth and progress. Years ago, I bought this company from a former owner who was struggling. I'd done 4 years of college pro and I had been pretty successful at it. He contacted me and asked me if I wanted to manage his company. The problem is he was really going bankrupt. I agreed to do it, and I made $11,000 that year. After making $11,000, I didn't really have much to show for anything. I'd paid off a car. After about a year, he wanted me to buy it from him. So I took my car back to the credit union and got a title loan against it. I got an American Express and a Sherwin Paint account, and away we went. That's how I started. After a year or two, I forget, I think we were headed to Puerto Rico. I called Scott Moss up and said, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it. I don't have the money, and I think we're done. Scott offered to pay for me and my family. Ever since, it's really been kind of a gradual climb up a long hill. I do get a lot of prospective franchisees who call and they ask me if I would do it all over again. And to that, unequivocally, each time I say absolutely. And I really don't regret any of the trying times as the business was struggling. Another question that they inevitably ask is if it's everything that I expected. To that, I always say no. And they kind of act surprised, but it's not even close. It's way more. It's way over delivered whatever I expected it to be early on. And not just in terms of lifestyle, but everything. It's been such a ride and such a rewarding experience. I've always been kind of a proponent of vision, and I've always benefited from it. But last year, with the stress of a terminally ill wife and 4 kids to raise, a business to lead, I really got serious about it. Last year's theme at the conference could not have been more on point for me and my team. I worked really hard to dig deep and determine what truly is important, who I want to be, what I want to be. I had the benefit, once again, of a traumatic situation hanging over me that helped it all come into focus. I worked on mindset. I redid my whole vision, determined to live a deliberate, intentional, and purpose-driven life. I now read it weekly, and my annual and monthly priorities all roll off of it. Needless to say, it's been a real lifesaver, a compass, and a beacon to me. I have had a lot of support along the way, people who believed in me at times more than I did myself. I mentioned Scott Mossa, Jason Phillips early on, Scott Phillips, who's my current longtime GM, even though he tries to get rid of me every year. Anthony Joweed and many others. And then of course the corporate team, all the way from Mike Stone all the way down, to the newest members. Former members of BMAB, I got a lot out of them and those meetings. Current flight members, former flight members. My current flight members were a member of Condor, Jessica Bellman, Dan Hutchins, Jay Bowers, Pat Lewis, and George Irving, along with Val Kinney, facilitating and keeping us in line. I've had a lot of conversations with many of you, and I've come away learning a lot each time. Last year was an example of one where outside the cafe, I sat on a couch next to Steve Bondbright, who I'd never really talked to, but I left that interaction feeling uplifted and inspired. I've had dozens of others of those discussions with members of the corporate team or other franchisees or staff. I've had dozens of those with my flight members throughout the years. I've been a member of the same flight for, I don't know how many, ever since the flight program started, 13 or 14 years probably. If you're one of those people, just know that I have taken notice and I appreciate it. Thanks again to all who have been part of this journey, and go Certa.
Wow. That was a fantastic presentation. Well deserved. What a great year they had. And, I can't wait till we can all be on stage together once again.
Yeah, we're supposed to be on a stage right now, Jeff, in